Good day everyone. I'm Weni Sunar Harum, representing team from Sensory and Applied Food Science, Faculty of Agricultural Technology, Universitas Brawijaya, Malang, Indonesia, would like to present our research on profiling of the Indonesian unique wine coffee flavor. We are interested in coffee because of its potential. Coffee is the second largest commodity in the world after oil, with a consumption of above 151.3 million of 60 kilogram bags 4 to 3 years ago. And the demand is continually increasing worldwide in the last few years. Well, Indonesia is one of the top 4 coffee producers in the world, and one of the most potential coffee plantation with high productivity in Indonesia is in Sumatra Island. Now, one of the reasons why we drink coffee is because of its flavor. However, coffee flavor is very complex. Coffee is one of the most chemically complex items that we consume. There are several factors influencing coffee flavor, and one of the important factors is post-harvest processing or treatment, since this step will contribute to the biosynthesis of aroma or flavor precursors in coffee. Okay, let's move on to the coffee processing. Well, basically there are two coffee processing, which are natural or dry process and washed or wet process. In the natural process, whole coffee cherries are dried, usually under sunlight, for some time before further hulled or to get the green beans. In comparison to the dry or natural process, wet processing requires removal of coffee skin, fruits, and mucilage, and leave the coffee in parchment to dry. Further hulling is performed to remove parchment and silver skin. The variation of these two processing is related to the extent of fruit pulp removal or how much mucilage removed or left on the parchment prior to drying. All of this variation creates a different characteristic of coffee in the cup. So now what about wine coffee? Well, it's not a wine made of coffee extract, nor coffee plus wine or macerated in wine, but it is a natural fermentation, a variation of natural coffee processing. Wine coffee processing is the Indonesian unique coffee processing, which is a prolonged natural processing from 1 to 3 months drying, allowing longer dry fermentation to occur in order to obtain a winey or fermented character. The dried whole coffee cherries undergo further processing such as hulling, roasting, grinding, and brewing. The brewing process is important in translating the roasted coffee into ready-to-consume product or a brewed coffee. Well, there are several brewing methods available, but manual brewing techniques had gained more interest nowadays. Some of these techniques include the Indonesian traditional tubruk method, where hot water is directly poured over coffee grounds, while the other method is Vietnam drip, where the poured hot water is dripping through the Vietnamese style filter. The next method is aeropress, where there is a pressure involved in the extraction, so it's not only due to the gravity. And another one is the cold brew, where cold water is used for the extraction, and the extraction is conducted for several hours. And this research was conducted to profile the flavor of this unique type of coffee and to study the effect of different manual brewing methods, such as the Indonesian tubruk method, Vietnam drip, cold brew, and AeroPress on its sensory characters. The materials used in this research was Arabica Cayo wine coffee. The coffee beans was grown, harvested, and processed following wine method by farmers in Cayo area, North Sumatra. Coffee was in medium roast level and brewed using 4 different methods such as to brew, Vietnam drip, AeroPress, and cold brew. The brewing was performed following the standard protocols for each method. The sensory descriptive analysis was performed for the evaluation of coffee samples, employing 10 trained panelists consisting of 5 males and 5 females aged between 18 to 24 years. The training involved familiarizing the panels with the sample, adoption of the testing protocols together with the palate cleansers, and the development of descriptive terms, attribute definitions based on SCA coffee flavor wheel guidance, associated sensory reference standards and attribute scales of 15 centimeters unstructured line scale on a paper-based questionnaire for rating during formal sessions. A total of 33 sensory attributes were selected and are presented together with definitions and sensory reference standards. Towards the end of training, practice sessions were held with mimicked formal evaluation to verify the suitability of the method and to assess panelists' performance prior to formal assessment. And the formal assessment was conducted in 3 replicates. Now, we move on to the results and discussion. The results showed that there were 24 out of 33 sensory attributes assessed found to be significant. Those attributes include aroma and flavor components, taste and aftertaste, as well as texture or body. The most dominant sensory attributes were fermented, winey, as well as burnt aroma and flavor. The Indonesian Arabica Cayo wine coffee was found to have a high score for fermented and burnt and tend to be sour. The 4 different brewing techniques produce a quite different cup profile, as can be seen from the spider web. Further principal component analysis showed that the first 3 principal components explain 76% of variation in the dataset. Clear clusters could be seen to distinguish the brewing methods on PC1 versus PC2. The separation on PC1 was mainly based on the scores of burnt attributes and sweet, fermented, and woody notes, while PC2 separates sample with different scores on chocolate, citrus, and berries. For the PC1 versus PC3 evaluation was also performed and showed that the cold brew seemed to be quite distinctive from other brewing techniques. Based on the result, it can be concluded that Indonesian Arabica Cayo wine coffee exhibit quite fermented winey aroma and flavor. And then coffee can be clustered based on brewing methods applied. The different brewing methods produce coffee brews with different sensory characters. To brew technique gives predominant aroma and flavor of berries, burnt, bitter taste and aftertaste, but with a better body. While the Vietnam drip brewed coffee character is quite close to brew, but with the prominent aroma and flavor of citrus, fruity, nutty, with astringent aftertaste. The AeroPress technique offers predominant attributes of chocolate for aroma and flavor, with a sour taste, but also offers a clean finish. The cold brew shows quite distinctive characters, with the predominant attributes of fermented, sweet, and woody for aroma and flavor, with a sweet and salty taste. So, this results offers an important basic information on Arabica Gayo wine coffee flavor required for our further research. Thank you very much for your attention and have a nice day.